Hello everyone, and welcome back to another installment of our Path to 2409 Star Trek Online Lore series. Today we're going to be talking about volumes 25, 26, and 27. Starfleet celebrated the opening of more links in the Federation Transwarp network. In these troubled times, this technology is more important than ever, said Admiral Chakotay at the opening of the Transwarp hub in the Alpha Centauri system. Speed is essential if we need to repel an attack by Klingons or the Romulans, or evacuate an entire planet if there's an environmental disaster. Just as a warp device once made the stars reachable, Transwarp will make exploration of the entire galaxy possible. Much of the Federation's time in 2404 was spent adjusting to the new balance of power in the galaxy. With the Klingon Empire expanding its influence and stability returning to the Romulans, the possibility of either side turning their attention to the Federation was increasing. If it's not the Klingons, it will be the Romulans. If it's not the Romulans, it will be the True Way. Mark my words, the Federation will come under attack, and it will happen soon, said activist Chrome Nerette. The Soong Foundation sued for an injunction forcing Starfleet to reveal the whereabouts and condition of all of its holographic programs. We want to review these cases, said the Soong Foundation attorney Elisa Koglishaw. There are sentient life forms trapped in lives of misery and slavery, like the EMH Mark I holograms who have been mining dilithium for more than 30 years. Starfleet appealed the injunction, saying that the request was too broad and it invaded officers' privacy. The brave men and women serving the Federation deserve to have some holographic entertainment without legal review, said Starfleet spokesperson Marie Durant. Even if all classified uses of holograms were struck from this injunction, it is still illegal and irresponsible. Legal analysts predicted that the holographics case, like that of the Doctor, could go all the way to the Supreme Court of the Federation. On Stardate 81753.16, Chancellor Jimpock informed the Federation ambassador that he was invoking ancient claims to the Hiromi cluster and the sectors surrounding it, an area that had been seceded to the Federation for decades. Jimpock said that he would allow the Federation 3 months to remove all Federation citizens and assets from the region. There would be no negotiation. According to the Federation News Service polls, more than 70% of the Federation's citizens opposed acceding to Klingons' demands. Well, of course we're not leaving, said Cassidy Munzer, a musician living on Earth. We have to stop the Klingons somewhere, don't we? Federation President Anik Okeg called for calm. Let's not fight the war before the first shot is fired, said Okeg. We will explore every option open to us, and peace is of utmost importance. The Romulan Star Empire was enjoying a time of peace that it hadn't seen since the destruction of the Romulan homeworld, almost 2 decades prior. Praetor Sela settled long-simmering disputes between colony worlds, opened the Romulans' memorial at the remains of the homeworld, and gently shaped the Senate to her way of thinking. She's using a little bit of blackmail, a dose of charm, and a lot of guile, said Starfleet intelligence operative on Nova Roma. But Romulans hasn't had a leader who can pull people together like she can since Janatra disappeared. On Stardate 82001.36, Federation President Anik Okeg informed the Klingon Empire that the Federation will not leave the Hiromi cluster or the sector surrounding it. We will continue our explorations of this cluster. We will not uproot Federation settlements that have been in these sectors for decades. You claim to have ancient claims to this region of space. I say that current possession counts for something. We do not want war, Okeg continues, but we will defend ourselves. The Klingon response was swift. 3 days later, a Klingon fleet invaded the Korvat system, a target that had been chosen for its symbolic value. In 2289, the Korvat colony was the site of the negotiations between the Federation and the Klingon Empire that were a contributing factor to the successful signing of the Khitomer Accords in 2399. If the Federation was still welcome in Khitomer, it is reasonable to assume that Chancellor Jimpock would have attacked there, said Admiral Tanay on an episode of Illuminating the City of Light. I do not believe that conquering the Korvat system is as important to the Klingons as a message. The alliance has ended. The Klingons clashed with a fleet of Starfleet ships sent to protect the colony and stop Klingon landing parties attempting to forcibly remove Federation citizens from the planet. Initial reports from the front are good, said Starfleet spokesperson Marie Durant. The USS Montgomery Scott was heavily damaged in the assault, but it is being towed to a starbase for repairs. We are confident that Starfleet can protect the residents of the Korvat colony and the entire Federation. The Klingons gained some support when a coalition of Nausicaan tribes signed a non-aggression pact with the Klingon Empire. Nausicaans who chose to swear fealty to the Klingon Empire were permitted to join the Klingon Defense Force and own property in the Empire. King Slathis of the Gorn should get the credit for bringing the Nausicaans into the Empire, said Tag Morkek of the Teller News Service. I think he sees the potential in a group of like-minded species, like the Federation. Observers of Klingon politics noted a development that could change affairs on Kronos when General Worf agreed to begin Jin Tak for Drax, son of Martok. Worf has taken the title given to him by his old friend Martok, and now he will advise Martok's son on how to run his house, said an anonymous report. Worf's skill in battle and politics could be just what the House of Martok needs to take a leading role in the Empire again. The Federation was gaining allies as well. The Cardassians agreed to a scientific exchange pact that further cemented the alliance between the Federation and the Datapa Council. And on Ferengar, Grand Nagus Ram used a portion of the profits from his trade agreements with the Cardassians to finance the passage of expanded technology and information sharing agreements with the Federation. He's trying to use those charity-loving no latinum, no goods in the Federation, said Rage Quaris, an independent Ferengi running a trade station Aurelius system. I'm a legitimate businessman. I won't stand for it. While many Ferengi opposed closer ties with the Federation, and others saw the profit available in trading with the Klingon Empire and other Federation foes, Rom argued that the future of business depended on good relations with the Federation. When opposition from the Economic Congress of Ferengi advisors proved too costly to overcome, Rom took his victories and ended his fight for a formal alliance with the Federation. Buoyed by early victories against the Klingons and the Ferengi technology and trade agreements, Federation President Anik Okeg sailed to an easy victory for his third term. Why change now, said Rosa Oliver, a geologist working for Janus Mining. He seems to be doing a good job. On Stardate 82626.64, the Gorn entered the war on the side of the Klingon Empire. A Gorn fleet launched an invasion of the Sherman's planet that was easily turned away by Federation forces at Deep Space K7. I think the Gorn were testing us, said Station Commander Captain Sharuth Talis. Now they know that we're ready for a fight. The war between the Federation and the Klingon Empire heated up when the Klingon fleets invaded the Arcana sector. Long desired by the Klingons, the sector was relinquished to the Federation in the mid-23rd century. Klingon forces invaded it in 2372 during the last Federation-Klingon War, and the area had been hotly contested by both factions ever since. We took it back once, said Commander Akira Sulu. We can do it again. I have the utmost faith and abilities and courage of my fellow Starfleet officers. Military observers predicted that the fight for the Archanus sector would be a long one. The forces there are evenly matched, military strategist Sona of Vulcan told the Federation News Network. The Klingons and their allies are fierce fighters, but Starfleet has never lacked in courage or tenacity. There is an 82.47% chance that this struggle will continue for at least 1 year. One thing that was expected to help Starfleet was an advance in power cell technology developed by the research teams at Memory Alpha. The new cells made personal shield generators feasible for Starfleet officers on away teams. This new technology will keep our officers safe, said Starfleet spokesperson Loris Brex. It is just one example of what the Federation can do. There is no problem that we cannot solve. The first shield generators were issued to special teams on ground assaults in the Archanus sector. Once the technology was adequately tested, Starfleet expected to provide it to all of its members. 3 companies announced that they were working on variations of the technology for commercial use. Forget the shields, give us the power cells, said the Soong Foundation researcher Alexander Baker. If we had access to the cell technology now, it could cut months off our timetable to release a mobile emitter for holographic lifeforms who aren't in Starfleet. Starfleet medical ships, including the USS Pasteur, USS Comfort, USS Curie, and USS Fleming, were diverted to the Federation colony in the Carnegie system to combat a highly virulent plague that reports said were affecting more than 80% of the population. Information about the situation on Carnegie was extremely difficult to obtain, as subspace transmissions off-world were being blocked by Starfleet for strategic reasons. Ships approaching the Carnegie system were turned away, and no Carnegie vessels were allowed to leave the system. We're at war, and at the same time we're dealing with a virus that is devastating a colony that has factories and replicator facilities that supply goods for the Federation, said Starfleet spokesperson Loris Brex. Not every detail of every situation needs to be on the nightly news feed. There were widespread rumors that the plague was not biological in origin. Federation President Anik Okeg refused to comment on these rumors when asked, saying that only that Starfleet needed time and resources to treat the population and to stop the spread of the contagion. In one Starfleet promotion of note, Admiral Chakotay was named the new head of Starfleet Intelligence. Chakotay promised to bring more openness and accountability to what traditionally had been seen as a very reclusive post. In one of the Admiral's first briefings to Starfleet Command, he laid out what he saw as the current Undine situation in the Federation. Chakotay admitted that Starfleet Intelligence believed that there were at least 30 Undine infiltrators in Starfleet or high-level Federation posts. "We're in trouble," Chakotay said. "There could be an Undine in this room, and we wouldn't know it." While Starfleet Intelligence did not have a foolproof method of detecting Undine in humanoid form, it was working on new technology to make this more feasible.